All right, let's talk about what it really takes to become a Jkssb junior assistant. We're going to break down the whole thing for you from start to finish.
For this job, it's kind of wild. The whole thing can boil down to this one single hurdle, a make or break moment that honestly, a lot of people just don't see coming.
So, what does it actually take to land this government job? Well, stick around because we're about to walk you through the entire journey, covering everything from whether you're even eligible to the nitty-gritty of that final test.
Okay, first things first. Before you even crack open a book, we've got to talk about eligibility. This is the very first gate you have to pass through.
So it pretty much comes down to three key things: where you're from, your age, and of course your education. Let's dig into each of these right now.
Okay, this part is non-negotiable. You have to tick every single one of these boxes. We're talking a bachelor's degree from a recognized university, a solid 35 words per minute typing speed, that 6-month certificate in computer applications, and, this is a big one, you absolutely have to be a domicile of the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir.
Now for age. For most people, the window is pretty standard. You've got to be between 18 and 40.
But, and this is important, you'll want to pay close attention to this slide. There are some key age relaxations. For folks in the SC, ST, RBA, or EWS categories, that upper limit gets bumped to 43. It's 42 for the physically challenged, and for ex-servicemen, it goes all the way up to 48.
Okay, so let's say you've passed that first gate. You're eligible. Now, the real trial begins. We're moving into the two-stage selection process, and believe me, this is where the competition really heats up.
It's basically a two-step process. First up, you've got the written exam. Clear that, and you move on to the second stage, the skill test, which is all about typing.
Now this is super interesting. Take a look at the scoring. The written exam is worth a whopping 80 points. But, and this is a big but, don't underestimate those 20 points for the skill test. That's where this whole thing gets really tricky.
So for the written exam, you've got to be quick. It's basically a sprint. 80 questions, 80 minutes. That's a minute a question. And watch out for that negative marking. 0.25 marks off for every wrong answer. So you can't just guess wildly. It's all about speed and accuracy.
Okay, remember that make or break hurdle we talked about at the beginning? Well, here it is. This is the final boss, the typing test. It might only be 20 points, but this is where so many good candidates, I mean really good candidates, get eliminated.
So what's the first target? 35 words per minute. That's your net speed. Sounds simple, right? Well, that's just the price of admission. That's the bare minimum.
But honestly, forget the speed for a second. This number, 90%, this is what really matters. You have to hit at least 90% accuracy. It is absolutely non-negotiable. Get 89.9 and you're out. It's that brutal.
And it makes sense when you think about it, right? They're not just looking for a fast typist, they're looking for someone who can be accurate under pressure. Every little mistake, a wrong letter, an extra space, it all deducts from your gross speed to give you that final net speed. Make too many errors and your score just plummets.
And if that wasn't enough pressure, here's the real kicker. Your score for those 20 points isn't absolute. It's calculated based on how well you do compared to the best person in your batch. Yeah, you heard that right. You're literally competing against the fastest typist in the room for every single point. So whatever you do, don't get too comfortable practicing on your own laptop at home. The real exam, it's a completely different animal. You're going to have a keyboard you've never used before, the pressure is going to be insane, and the backspace key, well, let's just say it's not your friend. It's often limited. So yeah, practice on different keyboards. Try to type without even using backspace. That's how you build that critical first-time accuracy. All right, so let's imagine you've done it. You aced the written exam, you conquered the typing test. What's it all for? What's the reward? Let's get into the job and the salary.
If you get through, you'll be placed in pay level 4. Once you add everything up, the basic pay, your house rent allowance, transport allowance, and all the other perks, you're looking at a total annual package of just over 4 lakh rupees.
And what's a day in the life like? Well, it's not just sitting behind a desk. Sure, you'll be making reports and working with Excel sheets, but a really big part of the job is dealing with people directly, handling public grievances. It's a mix of office work and field work, so you'll need those computer skills and some solid people skills.
So there you have it. From checking if you're eligible to getting through that intense written exam and finally conquering that brutal typing test, that's the whole journey. We've laid out the entire path for you. Now there's really only one question left to ask.
Are you ready for the challenge?